Yep. You already know what time it is. It's Friday, baby. We made it. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And we back in the cave. We got some fun this morning, man. And this is another topic where we're definitely gonna need more than one show. Because we was only able to grab like about 15. And I know there's more. So there's gonna be people on this list that y'all gonna be like, yo man, where's this person? I understand, but we only got enough time in the show. You know what I mean? So there's people that's clearly left off, but please don't take our heads off. Don't be like, well, what about him? What about him? I know. When I did the list, I said, man, we can't do this show in an hour and change. So we're gonna definitely have to do a part 2 down the road. See what we got in the building. Derek Gaines, the legend. Salute. Robert Singleton. Pooh Man. Mr. Shelton. Salute. Showtime Majors. Adrian Vet. The Queen in the building. Salute. Daryl Alexander. ES. Steve L. The Mac. EJ McCrory. What up? What's going on, man? Smash the like button. Oh, it jumped on me. G. McCall. Jerome Truitt. Why the let me take care. Let me tighten my brother Jerome up. Give him that wrench. By the power of Grayskull in this mofo. Salute. And by the way, speaking of the power of Grayskull, if y'all watched the original 1980s He-Man on TV, like 80, 86, 85, 86. I have the box set. I can't watch it anymore because it's cringe for me now. I'm like, ew, I like this stuff. It was crazy. But I have it. But it was crazy. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It's just like, whoa. He-Man got kidnapped and was on a planet. And there was a black dude that was equally as strong as him. But you know what? I just got to do a video about it. And why am I the only person that remembers that damn episode? But that happened. The dude looked like Luke Cage, but he looked like a Wakandan. I'm dead serious. Salute, Isha. Let me tighten her up. That's my peoples. Salute. Yup, I'm the only person that remembers that damn episode. But hell yeah. So salute to everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. And to help me with this conversation, my brother Act in the building. Salute, good brother.
What's good, bro? You hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's going down, Drew, man?
Yeah, we grinding, man. How you?
Oh, I'm good.
Rod Nail, Young Deezy, salute.
I'm surprised we didn't do this in February.
You know what? I had thought about it too. And that's what I'm saying. I might have to do more than one show here. I just got to find a way to do it. Because I got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I legitimately have to hire help. I'm talking with this dude right now. He's going to have to help me do some videos as far as I have to diversify my time, man. So, I got to, because doing it myself, I mean, if I was Dr. Manhattan, I wouldn't have had a problem. You know what I'm saying? I just multiply myself and just 3 shows, 7 days a week, 2-hour streams, and y'all be like, how you doing this? I'm Dr. Manhattan. Yes, Jerome Truitt. That's a good one. Panthro from Thundercats was black, y'all. He was black. Jeff Spark, Tiago Rose, salute. Panthro from Thundercats was black. I don't care what anyone
Person
says.
that voiced him, was he black?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the first thing we noticed. That's the first thing we noticed when the cartoon first came on. When he said something, we was like, "Oh, he's black." And Panthro Panthers are black. I said, "Oh, I get it. They just didn't make him black for the cartoon. That would have been like OD crazy. So they made him great."
Okay.
But he was black. Panther was black. I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna tell you someone else who was black. And this is like stupid, but y'all remember Hong Kong Phooey? He was black. Hong Kong Phooey was black. I used to say he was Spanish, but he was a minority. So he's with us. Hong Kong Phooey was black, and they cannot air characters like, you know what? That's a whole show. Characters that they cannot air anymore. I gotta write that down before I forget it. I gotta write that down. Wait, hold on. Characters that cannot be aired today. Hashtag woke agenda. There we go. I'm not even gonna act. I know I'm a lot older than you.
Yeah.
Do you know how many characters that they can't air anymore, and you probably don't even notice? Watch this. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you saw Speedy Gonzalez?
Unless you go back and you watch the Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't air him anymore. You can't air him anymore. When was the last time you saw Pepe Le Pew? Yo, he was a stalker on the illest level. That is inappropriate. I always said that. And in this woke agenda, you don't even see him no more. He don't even pop up in the cartoons like with Porky Pig, and you don't see him anymore. You can't air that no more. Every episode he's chasing that cat around and trying to kiss on him. And plus, he was French. No, can't do that. Can't do that.
It's a good topic. That's a,
yeah. And there's a lot
that you're making.
There's a lot of characters you don't see anymore because it's.
I know Betty Boop before you and me, but I didn't know the person that was based off of her was actually black. I didn't.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. If you dive into it, I seen this video about that. It was about it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. But I don't see someone like that. And I know Betty Boop before you and me.
Yeah, Betty Boop. Betty Boop was based off of a light-skinned black woman.
Yeah,
Yep. She was a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a cartoon with her and Popeye dancing. It was funny. There's another one I was thinking of. Did y'all know? And this is going way back. Only the OGs in the chat may know this. There was also, there was Yosemite Sam, Elmer Fudd. Did y'all know there was a little pygmy dude, a black dude with big lips? That was like Goofy along those same ranges. Elmer Fudd is Goofy. Yosemite Sam is Goofy, and he's always busting shots at people. He's super violent. You didn't even see him around no more because he's violent. He's just he's pulling out a gun and shooting people. Yeah, I'm telling you, he's super violent. He's a midget Texan with big guns. He can't beat nobody out. He's always shooting at somebody. There was a black pygmy dude. I saw him on TV twice when I was a kid. They took that shit off the air like in the 80s. And there was also a Chinese dude. You cannot air that today. It was crazy disrespectful. It could be today. No, it could be viewed as something so foul. It was crazy. It was crazy. The dude had big lips and trying to cook Bugs Bunny. It was sick. I saw it twice. That shit was sick. I was like, damn. But you can't air these things today. There's so many things in cartoons, so you just can't. You just can't. In Dragon Ball, the early episodes, you got look at how they draw black people. What the fuck is Mr. Popo? That's OD, bro. That's fucked up. This little black nigga, mad fat. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Don't do that. Yeah, Jerome, I did see it. I'm gonna do an Invincible episode, but I'm trying to figure out because it's still on. It's you know what I could do? I could do the comic, but I'll ruin it because they're being very accurate to the comic. But but Invincible is the shiznick for real, man. So let's get to it, bro. We put together this list, and please, we couldn't get everybody on this list. So I did what I could. I did the best that I could with this, man. And I just said Mr. Popo. Yeah, that's fucked up. If y'all don't know who Mr. Popo is, that's Mr. Popo. I was like, come on, man. Why they gotta do that? He's actually one of those dark-skinned Indians.
That's how I kind of viewed him, but that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, that's something else. That's something else. That's crazy. So I know we left a lot of people on Young DZ. I know about Wilkins coffee. It's bad. They do us dirty worldwide, man. That's messed up. Yeah, there's a Manny Pacquiao commercial in the Philippines, and they got a black dude that looks just like Floyd Mayweather. To do that commercial. That was leading up to I was in the midst of that feud. It's messed up. It's on YouTube. But anyway, I know we left a lot of people off of this list, which is why we got to revisit this. We actually should have did this last month, but that's why I need more than one show. But let's do it, man. So Act, you up. And this is no particular order, y'all. These are just characters. We're gonna start with Afro Samurai.
Oh man. Love this story, man. Love this story. Afro Samurai. He's a young samurai. He watched his pops get killed over a headband when he was very small. He got orphaned very small over a headband. Now, you have to possess the number 2 headband in order to fight the number 1. Afro Samurai's dad had the number 1. This cowboy named Justice, who's voiced by Ron Perlman. Afro Samurai, voiced by Samuel Jackson. Justice basically had the number 2, and his dad had to drop everything he's doing because he's sworn by honor, because he has the number 1 headband to face whoever has the number 2. So that's how our story basically begins and opens up. Afro, he ends up obtaining the number 2 headband, and basically he's trying to get revenge for his father, Justice, who has the number 1 after he killed Afro's dad. Basically that's Afro's whole reason for living, to get revenge on the person that took his father out, that has the number 1 headband. Drew, you got any comments on this?
Yeah, he was obsessed.
Yes,
he was obsessed, and he saw his father go 1D with forgot that dude's name.
Justice,
and he beheaded his father. That was super violent. They didn't waste no time. His head went flying in the air and landed right in front of him. And you didn't see how he did it. He just did it. and he was a kid, and that set him off. And he walked around with his dad's head in a bag for how many years?
Yo, it was smelling, I tell you that.
Yeah, my gosh, man. My gosh. That was insane. That was insane. But he kicked ass. But then you found out when he fought Justice at the end, Justice had a little hat trick, but then he figured it out. And the Afro actually saved him. Yep. So this was well drawn. I mean, if you get seizures from bright lights and things moving fast, don't watch this anime, because there's a lot of moving parts. It's well drawn though. It's well drawn. I liked it. The characters are very original. It's like feudal Japan with a futuristic twist. You know what I mean? And this was dope. This was dope. I like the Afro Samurai. Samuel L. Jackson, they had to squeeze him in there somewhere, of course. You know what I'm saying? Was that dude a part of his imagination?
That I believe Ninja was his subconscious.
Yeah.
That was his subconscious. He wasn't really there. It was his subconscious.
Yeah, he kept telling him to shut up. Word up, and salute to RZA. You know, he did the soundtrack.
Yes.
I had a track with him and Q-Tip on it. That shit was dope. So yeah, Afro Samurai.
I'm scared for them to do a live action of this, Drew, but
they can't ruin it, bro. They can't ruin it. They can't ruin it.
They would. It's Hollywood. They
yeah,
can't.
Man. So this is my guy, Black Vulcan. Dig this here, man. Black Vulcan, I first saw him in the Super Friends. All right, TV series back in like 77. This character debuted, 1977. And hold me down for a second. Hold me down for 1 second.
Shoot, Drew actually got me on this one. I actually never heard of Black Vulcan, but it seemed like from his suit or whatever, it seemed like he got electrical powers. Never heard of him. And the Super Friends, that's before me. When I was coming up, we had the Justice League Unlimited. Definitely seemed like I'm actually interested for Drew to explain Black Vulcan's role in this. And salute to everybody in the chat.
Niggas, somebody ringing my bell. Don't be showing up to my crib unannounced. Who the fuck is that? Damn, man.
Yeah, so Drew, explain to me who Black Vulcan is, because I don't think I ever heard of him, man.
Black Vulcan, first time I saw him, well, actually, he's one of those characters from DC that was on a cartoon first, and then they implemented him in comic books.
Okay.
He got reimagined later on in the comic books, because turns out he was a popular character. Again, it was the 70s, and every character that was black, they had to put black in it. They even brought this character back. You ever saw a show called Harvey Birdman?
No.
On Cartoon Network?
No.
All right. You ever heard of a character called Birdman?
Yes.
Okay, well, they did a spoof where he was a lawyer. And when you watch that cartoon, it's a comedy. He, characters from these old cartoons pop up, and he has to legally defend them. Like, there was an episode where he was trying to take down this crime gang, and he thought Barney Rubble was the Godfather. No, I'm sorry. He thought Fred Flintstone was the Godfather. It was really Barney the whole time, and it was a spoof off of the Godfather. And It was just funny, man. But Black Vulcan was in one of those episodes, and one of the things he kept saying was, "Why I gotta be Black Vulcan? Why can't I just be Vulcan?" And they were trying not to say black the whole episode. It was funny as hell. But
Powers
the Super
and
Friends,
abilities. Powers and abilities.
yeah, he
Electricity? Okay.
Electricity. He 1977. He
Black Lightning, basically.
basically that's why, bro.
Okay.
That's why when Black Lightning when that all came out, I was like, is this supposed to be Black Vulcan? Is it? I was kind of confused about it. Now let me read this. Black Lightning, who could not be used on the show due to the disputes with DC and Black Lightning's creator, Tony Isabella. In retaliation, Isabella wrote a story called "The Other Black Lightning," which was published in Black Light. It's him. It's him, but due to rights and legal rights and stuff, you can't use certain things. You know what I'm saying? I got to do a show on Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure too. I don't know if you ever watched that, but Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure is where they had, hands down, the best Fantastic Four cartoon I've ever seen. The best one. That was on Hanna-Barbera's World of Super Adventure. I mean, and it was so accurate to the comic book. A lot of the characters, a lot of the episodes, with the exception of the Submariner episode. But it was still dope. But this is a dope ass character. He also had there was a character inspired in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon. There was a character inspired by Black Vulcan called Juice. I don't know if you remember that. They did an episode on Justice League Unlimited where they had to fight other heroes that were, if I remember correctly, they were created. But all of those characters were spin-offs of the Super Friends. You saw a Black Vulcan in there called Juice. There was these two twins. That was obviously the Wonder Twins. There was a dude that got big, and that was them paying homage to Apache Chief. Yeah, the Super Friends. That's what I grew up with. But Black Vulcan was a part of the Super Friends. So he, and of course, you notice things like that. It's the 70s. You notice these black characters, man. So yeah, you could do some research on this guy, and he's around. And they actually, eventually, he made the comic books. They put him in the comic books a few times. He's one of those, like I said a second ago. These some of these characters start out in the comic book series, but they get so popular that they end up they start off in the cartoons on TVs, and then they end up in the comic books. Another character, just as a point of information, that's like that. You remember Spider-Man? Well, you won't remember. You wasn't born. Spider-Man and the Amazing Friends. You probably saw some reruns.
Yeah.
That character, Firestar, was not in the comic books. They just made her up. When that came on TV, we was like, who the fuck is... We knew who Iceman was. We was like, yo, who is Firestar? And they made her a mutant. And they had 2 episodes with the X-Men in it. Dope-ass episodes. And then I'm reading the comic one day, and they put her in the comic book. I said, oh, okay. But if you Wikipedia her, she first appeared on TV, and then they put her in the comic books later.
There's 2 people like that from my time. In the Batman animated series, Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. They both were not in comics. They started in a TV show, and probably all the kids went crazy for them. And
wait a minute, Mr. Freeze was on TV first?
Yeah. Mr. Freeze was in the book, yeah.
Mr. Freeze different from the other dude with the gun. That was his name, Dr. Frost. Captain Cold.
Yeah, Captain Cold started off in the comic. That's the flashback guy. That whole freeze gun thing was yeah.
You sure Mr. Freeze wasn't in the comic first?
Yeah, nah, he wasn't. Mr. Freeze started off in the show, and so did Harley Quinn. And then they
Now I know Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
But you sure? Young Daisy says nah. You sure?
Yeah.
I'm more of a Marvel guy. So, wait, let me Google that, because I always thought he was in the here he is. Let me see. Oh, no. He first appeared in wait a minute. It says he first appeared in 1959 as Mr. Zero.
Oh, so he was reimagined. Oh, okay.
Right.
Okay.
As Mr. Freeze. Well, Instant Freeze. He has several names. That's why it's confusing.
Okay. Because I know
that's why it's confusing. A lot of these characters, they go through these name changes. Yeah. And then as Victor Freeze, Batman Animated Series 92.
Okay.
So they when they called him Mr. Freeze. So okay. Instant Freeze, Mr. Zero, Victor Freeze.
But Mr. 92. Zero had the same powers?
I guess.
Or was he?
Let me read that real quick. Created by Dave Wood, Sheldon Moldoff, Bob Kane. Character initially debuted in Batman 1959 as Mr. Zero. Mad Scientist anniversary, okay, but was later renamed Mr. Freeze after a version featured in 1966 Batman television series. Okay. Yeah, he got changed around. Like, these writers, they just they do weird shit. But it'd be the same character, but sometimes they change the origin stories, and you know how I do. That's why I can get confusing. All right, we'll get back to that. You know what? That's another interesting topic. Character changes. Yep. But Harley, I knew she was so popular they just threw her ass in a comic book. But that's Black Vulcan right there. Yeah, I'm gonna let you take this one right here.
Oh yeah. So, y'all know the Day Walker, Blade, all of their strengths, none of their weaknesses. Always searching for the vampire, that infected his mom. Like you talking about two versions. One of the versions that I read about, he actually didn't get the power from Deacon Frost that bit his mom. Actually, in the old ones, they said Morbius bit him.
Bit his mom?
No, I think bit him, and he got the powers. Yeah. Really older. Well, I didn't know that. I'm reading it. I'm like, for real?
How does that happen? That's weird, man.
But the version I'm gonna talk about, Deacon Frost bit his mom, and he obtained his powers, and as he hit puberty, he started getting changes and became a hybrid, basically vampire. Was able to walk on, slays vampires. That's what he dedicates his life to. His real name is Eric Brooks. I actually know Eric Brooks. I grew up with. He from 8th Ave. Born and raised. That's my man's. Yeah, man. This is a great character, and actually, to be honest with you, I don't know if you even seen the anime, Drew. The anime was really good.
Yeah, I did. Good. Yeah,
that one was. I got that. I had to get that. So, definitely a dope character.
Blade. Salute to Blade, the character itself. Salute to Wesley Snipes. The Blade character saved the MCU because they were about dead until the Blade movie came out, and they didn't give him the Marvel intro until that god awful third film. The Blade saved the MCU, and the woke agenda almost killed it again. But Thank goodness for writers and Deadpool. They tried to go the woke route and it didn't work. They lost millions. And now they get their head straight, but that's a whole nother topic. I just want to throw that in there. Me and Stormy talk about that daily. The woke agenda is now dead. All right, they had to rewrite shit. They done canceled films. They canceled series. All right, that's what y'all get. Always cater to the people that got you there. And let me just say this. Listen, I gotta say this. Men pay for this stuff. Stop including people in there just because of their feelings. We pay for this stuff. We go out on dates and we take our wives. It's rare. I'm not saying it don't exist, but it's rare that I've seen or been around a woman that's saying, yo, when's the new Avengers coming out? It's rare. It's usually us saying, hey, man, I want to go see that Avengers. And the girlfriends or the wives say, okay, I'll go with you. They're not into this shit. It's us.
Unless they one of those like girls that be on that go to like the Comic-Con events.
Right.
Those are only type of girls.
Right.
Like girl.
Right. But when you go to Comic-Con, the male to female ratio is lopsided. Mm-hmm. It's mad lopsided. Those are the guys that spend the money and they bring their dates. This ain't old where it's just nerds and they're just isolated from life. No. I love this stuff. You understand? But I spend the money. And when you try and force this woke agenda in my face, the fuck the Marvels? What are y'all doing? What are y'all trying to do? Get that out of here. Y'all lost money. Y'all ruined She-Hulk. That had the potential to be a great series. But y'all ruined it.
That's the most expensive series. They almost have to put them back in bankruptcy. Marvel
exactly.
$25 million an episode? That got to be the most expensive show right now.
And look at what they did with the character act. She had to turn into the She-Hulk to get laid.
What?
I mean, really think about what they did in that damn series. That was like a lot of like disrespectful shit. And I'm like, no woman is offended at this. I mean, it was bad,
never watched
bro.
it. I never watched
bro,
it.
It was bad.
I mean, they messed up her character because she was such a dope character in the comics. So,
Bruce Banner had to struggle to maintain his brain as the Hulk. It took him years. He's on another planet for like an X amount of years, and he don't remember. He couldn't get out. He couldn't get out the Hulk. It took him a while to, merge the two. Banner's brain, Hulk's mind. Right? She-Hulk does it in like a day. She fucks Daredevil. I mean, come on. It was crazy. It was crazy. Are you familiar with the Wrecking Crew in the comic books? You familiar with them?
I'm familiar, but nah. Who is it? A certain?
They were a group of villains that they had a construction theme. One dude had a crowbar. One dude named Power Driver had oversized fists.
Okay, I remember Power Driver. Yep, I remember Power Driver.
The other dude had like a hard head. The black dude in the group had a wrecking ball. That was his weapon. Those are dope characters. They made them idiots. They were idiots in this thing. And they just had these powered up weapons. And she kicked their ass in seconds. I was like, man, you know what? I said, that was the Wrecking Crew, man. That was them. I was like, man, get out of here, man. I hate that series. No replay value. And to top it all off, she's twerking with Meg Thee Stallion in the episode. Done. Then it has some dude that does the superheroes uniforms, because they had to be specially made, of course, right? of course, it's some fairy black dude that man. I don't recommend that series at all. And they spent money on that. I don't recommend that series at all. It sucked. The tropes in there was just out of control. That's right, Tay. She was a hoe. She was a hoe. As soon as she turned She-Hulk, she put up a Tinder and started getting all these. She was in there banging dude. Man, forget about it, bro. Forget about it. It was stupid. But shout out to Blade because he saved the MCU. He saved the MCU for this. Well, Marvel Phase 4 lost so much money that they got to bring in Deadpool to reset the whole universe. He needs to kill it. Thank you. This is out of control. So salute the Blade, the Daywalker. By the way, ladies, would y'all let this man go down on you? Oh my gosh. Whoa! That's
kind of pretty before it gets started, ain't it?
Man crush.
Let me know how y'all work out. It's crazy. Mr. Shelton, hell no. She-Hulk like 7 feet tall. Hell no. And I hope she wash. I'm gonna let you take this one too.
Oh man, my boy Al Simmons, Spawn, who basically, was a whole thing of why he was murdered and became a Hellspawn.
Yep.
He was a soldier, he had a lot of bodies, and the more you rack up bodies, the more you get into Malebolgia's gaze, and he wants to draft you as a Hellspawn. I hate that it had to be a New York dude that had to go through this, and it was a brother. I hated that it had to be Al, man. The man ends up getting killed, wakes up 5 years later. He doesn't know. It seems like a day to him. Like, wakes up like 5 years later, come to find out his best friend and his wife have a daughter. And he didn't. Yeah, like trust me, this is like the worst case scenario. I mean, they got cool because they both visited his gravesite. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So she was grieving and his best friend was grieving. Then they ended up together. He was always trying to have a kid with her. And I guess, his shooters wasn't working, but his best friend's shooters was working because they ended up having a daughter together. So
that was whack too, because just to add to it, it's 5 years later, his wife got with his best friend, they made a baby, and Spawn has changing abilities, and he could change into almost anything, right? And he tried to change into himself, he couldn't do it. They kept making him change into a white man. And when he brought a package to his old house, the only person that knew it was Al was the dog. That was the only person. The dog went right up to him. And she was like, Wanda was like, that's his wife's name. Wanda was like, she don't like nobody. Well, she likes you for some reason, because the dog knew. That was messed up, man.
And,
but go ahead.
Yeah, but he has great abilities, when he transforms into the Hellspawn. He can shapeshift. He got a healing factor. He's basically a god. What I mean? And he comes to find out the Violator, who's the clown, is basically telling him what he has to do to basically serve and please Malebolgia. And then he didn't know also that there were other Hellspawns before him. Yep. So he's also being instructed by two paths that he could possibly walk. So Drew, you got and before I go, man, what the hell is taking so long for the movie, man? I know they started doing it. The pandemic messed up everything. They said Jamie Foxx was supposed to be the new Al Simmons, allegedly.
Well, you want to get things right now, because I'm just thinking I have no facts behind this. I can only suspect that they're watching this thing, how Marvel lost money, but what they need to realize is the closer you stay to the original story, the better off you are. You can add certain things, but the closer you stay to the original story, the better off you are. And Spawn is not a Marvel or DC situation, but they're watching it like, yo, if we're gonna put this out, let's see what the streets are saying. And they tried to go the route of woke, which is, let's just be honest, woke is the LGBTQ, the alphabet community, and the super duper feminists. That's what woke is. And woke don't pay the bills, y'all. Because when you woke our stuff out, we just stay home. That's it. We don't even bootleg it. We don't even wait for it to come on Disney Plus or something. We just don't watch it. And we showed you who we are by our dollars. We kept our money in our pocket. The Marvels, I'll pass. Yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder, they got my money, but that was a horrible film. And everybody ripped it. She-Hulk, I'll pass. Y'all done lost money. I mean, so what's taking long with the Spawn series, the new Spawn thing was I'm suspecting that they have to watch the market, because it got so bad they were probably figuring, hey man, this comic book to movie thing is probably about to die, so it might not make sense to invest, because it might have run its course. It hasn't run its course. There's always going to be a market for this stuff, but you gotta stay loyal to the people that spend money on this stuff. I spent money all my life on comic books and toys and stuff. All my life. My parents bought me toys. When I was old enough to buy them, I was buying comics and stuff and models and stuff. I got stuff in my storage right now. I got a whole bunch of Spawn, unopened Spawn toys that are worth something now. I'm a Todd McFarlane fan. Yes. So yeah, I need them to analyze the market and understand that you need to be loyal to the people that have supported this stuff. Me, the best thing in the world, when I heard they was doing an animated translation of the comic, I said it needs to be, don't change anything. Don't change anything. Even the Spawn movie, they changed a whole lot. Al Simmons' best friend in the movie was a white guy. I said, why would you do that? Stop changing the ethnicity of these characters. I can do without it. Why the fuck is Johnny Storm black in that last Fantastic Four movie? Michael B. Jordan. Look, I appreciate the brothers getting work, but Johnny Storm is not black. Stop doing that shit. Why the fuck is Flash Thompson Indian?
Yeah. I wasn't feeling that.
That was crazy. Do y'all have any idea how important Flash Thompson is to Peter Parker's life?
Yeah, facts.
Stop doing that.
In the comics. Especially in the comics.
Flash Thompson was a blonde-haired, blue-eyed jock with big muscles, and he bullied Peter Parker. With great power comes great responsibility, because after he became Spider-Man, he knew, yo, I could beat his ass now. I'm lifting trucks. I could fuck him up now. But I'm not going to do it, because Uncle Ben told me, with great power comes great responsibility. You want some more woke? Where was Uncle Ben in the last Spider-Man movie? Now they lucky, because those are still good movies, but I peeped what they did. Where was Uncle Ben? They made Aunt May a young hot auntie that you want to bang.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not Aunt May. Aunt May was like an old grandma for years. So they made her like a MILF, sort of, Aunt Elf, or whatever you want to call it. But where the fuck was Uncle Ben? Was there any mention of Uncle Ben?
Nah, nope.
He's the one that gave Peter Parker the line, with great power comes great responsibility. They figured out a way to get rid of Uncle Ben. She's now a single aunt looking after her nephew, and she, a roundabout way, gives him the line, and then she dies. So now she's this hero. Me and Stormy was talking about this. I'm like, yo, why the fuck? I seen what they did. They lucky it was a good movie, but I seen what they did. That's woke. Leave it alone. That was them removing the importance of a man in his life. Did y'all peep that?
That's a fact.
Stop doing that shit. They had some Indian chick. I think she's a writer. And I think she's involved in Marvel somewhere. I saw it on YouTube, and I got so mad I clicked it off. Yeah, I love to disturb the establishment. I love the. What are you doing? What do you mean disturb the establishment? Disturb the establishment? Shake things up? Keep your feminist agenda out of my goddamn childhood. Leave it alone. The best thing HBO did when they said we're going to make a Spawn animated series was they gave Todd McFarlane creative control, and it was beautiful. He didn't change a thing. That was the best thing they did. When this whole Marvel Phase 4, it almost sank the ship, bro. People got fired. Movies lost millions of dollars, and they were looking around like, "Whoa, we didn't do it." Yes, you did. Y'all tried it; it didn't work. Now they're bringing in Deadpool to reset everything. They're calling it a soft reboot. Why do you reboot something? Because something is fucked off.
This was the lowest year for Marvel in comic movies. Like
it was
2023.
And there's so much story that it didn't have to even be that way. It didn't have to be that way.
They definitely messed up the Thor Blood and Thunder. They try to do the Gore the God Butcher storyline, which they messed up. If you read the comic, you will be like, yo, this story is amazing. And then you see what they tried to do with Christian Bale and Homeboy that played Thor.
It was so stupid when they landed on the planet, and when she figured out what Gore was doing with Stormbreaker, the axe. What was her idea? Yeah, I'm gonna take it and throw it into space. That's your plan,
and
bitch.
Keep it a stack, Drew. They kind of messed up that Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker is really Beta Ray Bill's hammer. The axe that Thor has before he gets Mjolnir is Yarnbjorn. So that's a whole nother thing. They did their own thing with that, Drew. See, combining stories and messing it up.
That's what happens when you bring in writers that they don't know anything about the books, but they come in here and, hey, I got an idea. Let's do this, and let's make him naked half the film. Let's make the guy naked in this scene, and let's talk about sex, and let's make the woman the hero, and all these guys be homoerotic.
Oh, you about to be mad, Drew. Shout out to Young DZ for bringing that up. They just fired X-Men 97 writer, Drew.
I heard.
Now, look, you know what they made Morph? You know they changed Morph around, right?
Bro,
they made him not a male, not a female. I forgot what they call that.
He's asexual or whatever the fuck it is.
I forgot what they call it now, though, Drew. They got a name for it. Non-binary, something like that. I forgot what they call it now. It's one of them new woke names or something like that. You see what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying?
It's just like you can't call somebody a midget no more. You gotta call them a small person. You can't call a person retarded. You can't call a person retarded no more. You have to call them mentally impaired. It's like one of those.
I'm not calling nobody that trolls my chat mentally impaired. They're fucking retarded.
Oh, non-binary. Yeah, that's what it is.
Nah, fuck that.
Yeah. So it's not asexual no more. You gotta say,
nah, I'm good.
He said, no, I'm good.
Everton B says there's hope. Michael B. Jordan has the movie rights for Static. Good. All he has to do is be loyal to the book, and everything will be fine.
Talk
now,
about
with Al Simmons.
Static Shock?
Yeah, good.
Oh, okay. We didn't get to that.
All he got to do is be loyal to the book. And I ain't got don't add nothing. The story's already written, man. The story's already written. All you got to do is just add dialogue. Young
when that came out. So if he messed that up, that's on him. because he's old enough to have been around when Static Shock was on. He would have been a kid, so he better not mess that up, because I'll be looking at him crazy. I'll be looking at him crazy because he definitely grew up off of that. So
yeah, so Al Simmons, he's on a road to redeem himself and get out of this hell Spawn thing. Eventually he does it, but that's a whole nother thing. You could actually do a whole show on Spawn. But Al, you know, one of the things he does is he finds out his best friend that is married. His best friend wasn't just smashing his wife. They actually got married and made a family.
Yes.
He wasn't just banging his wife.
Yes.
And he wasn't snaking him while Al was alive.
Yes, that happened.
You know what I'm saying? Al died
at the grave site. Yeah, it wasn't like he was, looking at her, or it wasn't one of those. Yeah. So
So they actually
correcting that.
He wasn't snaking him the whole time. It wasn't that. And being that it was like that, because he was mad. But it was like, man, the more I kill, the worse it gets for me. So a human reaction was be like, yo, this dude, that's been my guy all this time. Was he like eyeballing my wife the whole time? And that wasn't the case. And it's 5 years later, and they made a baby, and he wasn't just banging her; they married. And so what he found out was his friend had a tumor, a cancerous tumor, and he was like dying. So what Al did while he was in the hospital, Al went into the hospital and touched his head and took the tumor out and saved his friend's life. And the doctor was like, yo, this tumor's not there. This is a miracle. And, Wanda was happy and everything else. And it's like, wow, man. So that was his path to redemption. And it's like, man, could you do it? It's like, wow, it's crazy. So it's a deep story, and it's a tragic story for Spawn, because he also found out his other boy was the one that killed him. I talked about this before, Chapel from Youngblood.
Facts.
And you didn't figure that out until that was the whole Image universe. He was like, well, who killed him? And then I turned the page, and because they said, yo, there's some guy stealing our high-tech thing and our high-tech weapons, and we need to bring in the big guns. We need to bring out this guy to solve the issue. And there was things that Spawn was doing that there was only one person that was saying, yo, I know these moves. I know. It says, wait a minute, it can't be. I turned the page, it's Chapel. I said, oh shit, that's his man. I had no idea. That's who blicked them off. And they actually had a fight and shit. But that, man, great story, bro. Great story. Al Simmons is a brother.
Great story.
Yeah. And you didn't figure out Al was black until like the third issue.
Drew, who what was the guy's name that voice Spawn? Because every time I read the comic, I always got his voice in my head. The guy that played
that's the dude. He also President. Yeah, that's homie that from Dead Presidents. He's also the voice of Goliath in Gargoyle.
Wanda.
Y'all know the brother I'm talking about. What's his brother's name?
Yeah. He did a great job.
He was in there something about Mary. How'd you get the beef before the pranks?
Keith David.
Yeah, that's him. Yep. Oh man. Wanda. All right. This is Rage, y'all. Now, this is pretty, all right. Rage. His name is Elvin Darrell Halliday. He's from Brooklyn, y'all. Now, y'all ready for this? He first appeared in Avengers 326 in November of 1990, the month of my birthday. Shout out to my Scorpios. Now listen. Listen. This big mofo is only 13 years old. He's 13 years
What was
old.
he eating?
He was
What was he eating?
exposed. Check it out. He was exposed to toxic waste after hiding from bullies, which accelerated his growth and gave him superhuman physical abilities. He was being chased by some racists in Brooklyn.
Wow.
Can you tell what this story is inspired by? This is what if Yusuf Hawkins got away and turned into a superhero. That's
He
what
said
this
he
is.
looks like Bane. Derek Gaines is stupid. He said he's basically a black. Yes, Derek Gaines. He a black. He a black Bane to look like.
Yeah. And here's what's crazy. He grew like that, and he was running around trying to be a hero, but he was like erratic. And when the Avengers got a hold of him and they were talking to him, they're like, wait a minute. This dude is not slow. He's not like retarded. How old are you? I'm 13, sir. Oh, he's a child. What the fuck happened to you? Toxic waste. Oh, there's a lot of that shit going around. Well, sit right there, kid. How about go home and don't do anything until we tell you to do it? So he's 13 years old, y'all. He's a little boy, but eventually he grows up. Of course, you know, he was in the Civil War comic or whatever. But this is an interesting character because when he was appeared in the Kane said stupid. He said toxic waste makes everyone better. Except the Toxic Avengers. Yo, I gotta write that down, y'all. I gotta write that down. B movies, y'all.
Main biker. Shoot, we got our superhero too, Luke Cage. But we gonna get into that. Because I know he brought up Rage from Brooklyn.
Oh man. I gotta write that down. Let me see.
Oh, and Falcon is from Harlem too, even though
he's on the list.
In the television or this Marvel movie stuff, they try not to make him. They made him from like down south somewhere or something. But him and Luke Cage is from the same block.
They're from Harlem, bro.
Yep.
They're from Harlem. Harlem was popping. So that's Rage, y'all. He's 13 years old. You know what I mean? You can research him, but when this story came out, like I said, the Yusuf Hawkins story was still fresh in everyone's mind. Like a few years had passed, but then, you know, his story is inspired by those events. So, you know, he's from Brooklyn, you know, that sort of thing. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take care of this right here.
Oh man, Virgil Hawkins. And another name that I actually, this is a real person's name that I know too. Virgil Hawkins. Basically what happens is he's another one that got bullied. He was actually a really smart black kid in high school. He got hit with the mutagen. So this is our second version of the mutagen, because I know y'all thinking, or y'all OGs out there is thinking about Ninja Turtles in the mutagen. Well, guess what? This wasn't the only mutagen to not spread. It spread basically, and basically a gang of high school kids got powers. Static Shock ended up being able to control electricity. I forgot what character this originally what comic this was at first. I don't know if it was Variant Comics or who had this first, but DC ended up buying the rights to this, and now he's a DC character. And basically he fights crime as well as him, you know, maintaining him being in high school. He's not the first superhero to be in high school and got to keep up his grades and still whoop ass on the side. You know, but we seen that with Peter Parker too. But this is the black version of that. He has, like I say, he can manipulate electricity. He flies on the disc. Very, very good character. I loved the show as a little kid. So I hope Michael.
It got better every season.
Yes, it lasted what 4 or 5 seasons.
It was long. It was long.
Yeah,
that was I long. Gave it a chance.
Yeah, that was a long. Because a lot of these characters don't be lasting that long with seasons.
Yeah.
So you gotta give credit.
It got better with age.
Yep.
And when DC got a hold of it, it like went to a next level. I gave it, I said, okay, it's a black character. Let me go support. And I was like, all right, well, who created it? Because sometimes you'll get some non-blacks say, okay, we're going to get some of the black money. We'll just create something, So I looked at it anyway. I said, this is pretty good. There was like a lot of good messages in it.
Yes.
They tried to, keep the street lingo to where we recognized it a little bit.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, they're trying. So, it wasn't like, he wasn't like clowny and cooning around and stuff. I said, okay. And then when DC got a hold of it, I remember I was watching the episode of Batman Beyond. And when they went into the future and he showed up as a grown-up, that was dope.
Yes.
That was dope.
Yes. When they traveled in time or whatever. And he was older. Yep. I remember that.
That was dope.
I think it was it was Batman Beyond. I think it was Batman Beyond.
That episode was crazy.
Which was another good show. On the low.
They went into the future, right? You found out that Warhawk was the son of Hawk Girl and Green Lantern.
And John Stewart, the Green.
John Stewart. That was black. He was a light-skinned Negro with wings, y'all. When he took the helmet off, you could tell he was light-skinned, but he had a wide nose. I said, oh, shit. And you didn't know it until when Green Lantern went into the future. He said, Warhawk? Warhawk said, Dad? I said, oh, shit. That's his son. Man, that was crazy. He's a light-skinned Negro, bro. I mean, listen. They broke barriers in that cartoon.
But a name like Shiera, was she supposed to be light-skinned?
Yeah.
That's what I always thought. I always thought she was like black because, with a name like Shiera, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know any white chicks.
Yo, I always had a little crush on her as a kid. When she took the helmet off, I was like, yeah, keep the helmet on. Plus Green Lantern bagged her.
He bagged her. Yeah, she was rough, man.
He actually had 2 girls fighting over her because Vixen, she
dang,
I should have put her in there. I should have put a female in. I should have put Vixen.
That's why we gotta do this again, because there was more. This list is small compared to what we supposed to have up there. So we could both speak on T'Challa, the Black Panther. His character came out in the 60s, I believe. And Stan Lee was a genius, man. He introduced him. So much to talk about. This is another character you could do a whole show on. T'Challa's from
Wakanda. I was going to say, I just want to say before you start, I never backslid. I never was one of those people because T'Challa got real popular and they did a great job with that movie where I turned on Blade. Blade is still going to always be my favorite black superhero. I love T'Challa and everything that he did, but I was never one of those people. I was loyal. I always still rocked with Blade. Go ahead, Drew. I just had to say that.
Yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Black Panther in the comic books, here's what people don't know, because he was kind of like downplayed in the films. He's a genius on Tony Stark's level. See, in the movies, they show you that like Wakandans are, they're an advanced society, and to the world, they let the world believe that they're poor. That's not the case. They're a wealthy society, and they stay hidden from the bullshit of the world. They maintain their culture, but in the comic books, you learn that T'Challa is on the genius level as Tony Stark's. His father, T'Challa's father, actually fought Captain America in the 40s.
Yes. Yep.
Because Wakanda's been hid from the world all that time. And when Captain America landed in Wakanda, they were looking for the Nazis. Well, what happened was Captain America got there and the Nazis were already dead. Their heads was on pikes. So Cap got there, was like, yo, what's going on here? So then Black Panther shows up, was like, all right, American, leave. We got this. We took care of them already. And he was like, well, you can't just do this. This is war crimes right here. And he's like, I'm telling you again, you're in Wakanda. We took care of it. They're not coming back. Trust me. That's why we put the heads on the pike. They ain't coming back. Y'all deal with it how y'all gonna deal with it. Leave. And T'Challa's pops ends up going 1D with Captain America, and he beat him. He beat Captain America. He knocked him unconscious, and the Americans had to come pick him up and cart him off. So, yeah, that's the Black Panther. And that was T'Challa's pops that did that. So when T'Challa became Black Panther, there's like a lineage of Black Panthers, but this character is very instrumental. Again, this is another character that's very important to the MCU, which is, and this is a conversation me and Stormy always talk about. They need to bring back T'Challa. With all of this universe shit that they're doing and resetting the universe.
I heard that that's the plan.
They have to.
I heard that that's the plan, and I know you know T'Challa is definitely a genius, and so is Tony Stark, but I don't want y'all thinking that they the smartest in the DC universe. That's Reed Richards. Reed Richards.
No, it's Marvel, brother. It's Marvel. and Reed Richards is an evil genius. He's an evil genius. But they respect T'Challa. There was times in the book where they had to go to Wakanda and ask for his help.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he's a genius. But they need to recast T'Challa. It was okay. They should have did it as soon as what's his name died. There was no disrespect. And okay, look, Siri does become Black Panther for a second in the comic book.
Yes.
But now that you've gotten that out the way, you don't need to do it now. Bring back T'Challa. It was okay. If you could recast Rhodey, and that was a serious recast. Rhodey went from a light-skinned nigga to a dark-skinned nigga. Come on, bro. If you could recast Rhodey in one film, there was no excuse. You should have recasted T'Challa, man. But it's okay. Deadpool's about to reset everything. Fine. Bring back T'Challa. Stop playing with me. But Black Panther is a very instrumental character in the MCU. He's not just, again, not running around cooning and clowning.
No. He is definitely, like, he got different degrees.
Yeah.
Like, they sent him to American school to get different degrees. Like, I don't know. He was in one of those high level schools. I think, I forgot where he graduated from, but T'Challa is definitely him, Tony, and then Reed Richards is probably like the smartest.
Man,
probably
fuck Disney, man.
Yeah, Disney messed up.
Sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking out loud.
Disney, yeah, they messed up everything, but
fuck Disney, man. These dudes are just stupid, man. We should be right on point with Kang. We should be right on point with that. That nigga was on video running from that white woman. He tried to avoid that situation. Then he didn't go back home until he went and got the police. And then they find her asleep in the fucking closet, clearly with a hangover. He did nothing wrong. And
he
Disney
was in New York
him
when that happened, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that was
everything
the problem.
he said was true. Everything he said was true.
That was the problem, Drew. Because you know
exactly that is the problem.
You know, in New York, they always take the woman's side. So
they jammed him up, but once they found out she was lying, Disney should have been like, all right, no harm, no foul. Fuck it.
Yup.
They just got rid of him. And
he said, "It's
now you got to change up the whole story because you can't leave this guy in his role." He was literally running from her. Literally. And Disney says, no, thank you. But yeah, here's what they're going to do. You deal with us putting in all of these gay characters and making Thor naked in the film. And joke about orgies. I'm bringing my fucking nephew, underage nephew, to watch Thor. And what do? They strip Thor naked and Zeus is telling Thor, you can't participate in the orgy. I'm like, come on!
You know what was the best part of that movie, Drew? You know how they go to the end
There
credits?
was no best part.
No. I'm saying like the end credits. Because that really...
Oh, Hercules.
Yes.
That was it. You're right.
Yes.
But watch this. You ready for this?
Yeah.
Here's what Woke did for Hercules. Did you know they made Hercules bisexual in the comics? His big bench pressing ass.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did that.
I was reading it one day, and there was something he said that made you connect the dots, because he's also, Greek.
Yeah,
and
you know how they do.
It was like, what, man?
And Jermaine is right. Jermaine is right. He said it's Reed, Doom,
T'Challa. Oh yeah.
That's a fact, man.
No, he's right.
Reed satisfied Galactus's hunger, so that tells you how smart he is. So he spared Earth. Galactus don't spare no planet.
How do you outsmart Galactus, bro? You got to be a genius.
And he was a scientist before he became Galactus.
Yo, I remember they locked up Reed Richards, and they said, don't put anything in the room with him. And they saw him writing. They said, wait, who gave him that pencil? He was like, well, I was like, no, take that from him. They was like, yo, he's so genius. He could probably make a rocket out of that. Take everything from him. Crazy. And Reed was like, yeah, if I wanted to get out of here, I'd have got out of here, And then he said, yeah, you see that vent? I could have did that, connected that there. It was like, oh, man. Crazy.
Do not give Reed no time to think. Black Goliath. I heard it.
Black Goliath. Now, this is Bill Foster. Did you know in the movie, Ant-Man movie, Lawrence Fishburne was Black Goliath? Bill Foster. Remember that scene he was talking to him?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, I went to such and such feet. He was like, yeah, you got that big? And yeah, that was Black Goliath. That was him. Because he did it already. He's from LA. First appeared 1966, y'all.
Damn.
And he appeared as Black Goliath in a Luke Cage. Well, I'm sorry, when he was called Power Man.
Power Man, yep.
In 1975, y'all. Black Goliath. Remember, back in the day when you were a black hero, it was black this, black that. He was Black Goliath. And of course, he's cool with Henry Pym. Y'all know how it is, the Pym particles and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get them Pym particles, you shrink or you get really big.
You know what I'm
saying? Don't mess with them Pym particles if you don't know what you're doing.
Yep. Says here, Dr. Foster worked in the plans in the research division for Tony Stark's Baltimore factory, right? He's hired as a biochemical laboratory assistant by Dr. Henry Hank Pym. There it is. At the time, when the original Giant Man was stuck at the height of 10 feet tall, Dr. Foster helped Stark's behest to find a cure to revert Pym's size back to normal. Foster continues to work in Dr. Pym's lab as an assistant. Foster later investigates the apparent deaths of Pym and Janet Van Dyne. They killed them allegedly. There's a whole story behind that. Of course, they didn't really die, but he got a hold of the particles, and then now he's growing to like 20 feet tall.
You see what Sheldon, Professor X is a genius, but he's
a cheater, man. He be reading niggas' lines.
That's what I was about. Thank you, yo. Make sure you short clip this. Yeah. Man, bro, if you could read everybody's thoughts, you would be a genius too.
Man, I don't want to read anyone's thoughts. You be in a room full of niggas that hate you. You be like, man, what the fuck? There's like 10 niggas in here. Everybody scheming on me. I'm gonna leave. This is stupid. So
it
this
took
is
him a while to control that, man. That's how high level of telekinesis he had. Like when he was the kid, he was hearing everything, everybody's thoughts. So he had to learn to channel that thing, man. His telepath, he crazy telepath, Omega level mutant.
Yo, his brain was considered a weapon of mass destruction.
Yes, in the comics too.
Yup. Crazy stuff, man. So that's Black Goliath, aka Bill Foster. Lawrence Fishburne was Bill Foster in the MCU, y'all. Just to let y'all know.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that.
See, Marvel has a lot of gems in there. You got to be a super nerd to pick that up. Like, there's little things that are said. I'm like, oh shit, they're talking about such and such. And then when he sat down and spoke to Lawrence Fishburne, he was like, yeah, this is Bill. And I'm like, Bill? And then they start talking about how big they grew. Pause. I said, oh shit, that's Black Goliath. That's Black Goliath. You go back and watch it when he's talking to him. That's Black Goliath, Bill Foster. That's him. This is him. Harlem World.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Jimmy,
And
take over real quick, y'all. Take over real quick. I'll take the score.
This, Falcon, he was under Captain America. This dude, he said Mississippi pimpin'. Yeah, but see, in the comics, he wasn't from Mississippi, man. I don't know why they did that, bro. I don't know why they did that. He was from Harlem. He was from Harlem in the comic books. He grew up on the same block as Luke Cage. And if you want to get the background story, that they talk about it, if you ever read Civil War. The Civil War movie wasn't bad. I actually liked that movie, but it wasn't on. Like, the comic book was so much more better. And shout out to Stay Ready, because Stay Ready told me to read that, and I finally read it, and I was like, yo, the Civil War comic was way better than what they did in the movie. Not that like I said, the movie was bad. It wasn't bad. I like that. But Falcon, he was really from Harlem. He was a Harlem dude. Upgraded his suit. I believe Tony Stark helped him with that. Always fought crime with Captain America. When Captain America passed away, he was one of the dudes to pick up the shield and the mantle. That happened too. He wasn't the first one. Bucky Barnes did it at first, but Falcon did it after. Great character, great guy. Always liked the fact that he was always there at the right time. Always was there at the right time, Falcon. And I feel like he deserves his own movie. I think him and Luke Cage should get their own movies. He said, nah, Drew, the man, Jermaine said, nah, man, who can read minds can rule the world. He said, nah, Drew, the man. And look, I'm not disagreeing. I know y'all talking about Professor X. But at the same time, Professor X, he's such a good dude. He would never do that. He was one of those guys just trying to train kids. He said, and Jermaine said, they figured they already had a guy from Harlem. But this is what I'm saying, though, Jermaine. Don't go against the grain. He originally is from Harlem. Why they they didn't have to switch it up, man. They didn't have to switch it up because that Civil War story is not that old. That Civil War story ain't that old, so they didn't have to switch it up. I think what that Civil War comic came out, like 2010? It came out in the 2000s, so they could have left it that way. I could see if it was from like 1970 or 80 or even the 90s or something like that, then I'd have been like, all right, cool. But they didn't need to do that. He said the best part, there was no best part. Jeff Sparks. Yeah, 2009. Thank you, EJ. Thank you. 2009, like that's recent. You know what I mean? Great story too, by the way. If you haven't read the Civil War comic. He said, "I love the Luke Cage series. I got a homie that like the Luke Cage Netflix. I know the Netflix series on coming back in 2025 in Disney Plus. I don't trust Disney / Marvel. Pooh Man, my guy, I agree with you 1,000% on that, bro. And to be real with you, the that show with Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad. It actually wasn't a bad series at all. It wasn't a bad series at all. I actually liked it, but it wasn't really true to the story because they both like did their own things after Captain America died. But Falcon is definitely one of those black superheroes that you have to mention. You just have to mention. And one thing I can say about Disney is I agree with what Drew was saying earlier. They have to stop doing their own thing with each story. Since y'all own the rights to everything, it's like the WWE. When you go back and watch the ECW and WCW and all that other stuff, it's all yours. So you can still use it. You can use that stuff because you own all the rights to that. So that's what I feel like Disney needs to do with all the Marvel stuff. Like the closer you stay true to everything, the more of a success it would be. I wish I could talk to these people. Like, yo, you don't gotta go off course. Stay true to what worked in the beginning. You could slightly change things around. Like Spawn, for instance. Remember how we talked about how Spawn's best friend had a kid with his wife when he died? Well, actually, in the comic books, that kid is actually Al Simmons' kid. But the best friend ends up taking care of the Wanda and the kid. It's actually Spawn's kid in the comic, but in the show, it ends up being his best friend's kid. So you see, it's just a slight change. It was a slight change, but it didn't matter. That's one of those changes where it didn't matter. So stuff like that, where you still keep everything else the same, you just may change something a tad bit. He says Sam can't carry the Avengers movie. I wonder why. Derek Gaines, my guy, he said why. That's the reason Cap is coming back. He said Jermaine said they wouldn't listen because people have been telling them to stop changing things since the first X-Men movie since 2001. Dag. I believe, yo, Jermaine, I ain't disagreeing with nothing you saying, brother. Not disagreeing with nothing you saying. You probably spot on with what you saying, bro. Yo, Derek Gage, you ain't lying about that Onslaught series. Me and Mac talk about that all the time. Me and Stay Ready, we talk about that all the time. We got to get Stay Ready on the show with me and Drew.
Yeah, we definitely do, man.
Stay Ready,
we definitely do.
Stay Ready, know his stuff, man. But
yeah, he do, man. And the next time we do this show, I'm gonna call him ahead of time. You know, he in Texas. He in Texas, so he was like a 4-hour
Nah, but he said he could come on. I talked about when me and him was playing GTA, I talked to him about it. And he was like, hell yeah, I'll jump on. He said, hell yeah. He said, so Friday. Yeah. He said, hell yeah, I jump. I said, yeah. I said, even if I ain't there, I said, you and Drew got to talk some comics. I was like, cause Stay Ready know his stuff. He know his stuff.
My man, hell yeah. Hell yes. We gotta get him on. So we're gonna skid out of this along. I had to handle that business, you know what I mean? So
go ahead, no problem.
This Falcon.
Yeah, they made him from Mississippi, Drew. That's
They
what
made it from Mississippi. They fucked up. They had to do that.
They like, yo, New York got too many dudes.
Come on, man.
New York got too many dudes.
He on the porch.
But Stan Lee is from New York, so you gotta understand. He's a born and raised New York dude.
Hell yeah.
So of course it's gonna be that way. Y'all gotta understand that.
Man, goofed us up, man. Anyway, Power Man, Luke Cage. Power Man, y'all know him from Power Man and Iron Fist. Back in the day, he wore the yellow, had the brothers dressing like disco, you know what I mean? He had an afro with a silver crown on it. You know, it was the 70s, y'all. But I remember in the 90s, they rebooted him. He was rocking a fade, and the 90s was a bit of a golden era of hip hop in that era. Like that, there was like a boom in that era. And they updated Luke Cage. They said, well, mark it. Let's reboot Luke Cage. No, let's reboot Power Man and call him Luke Cage by his government name. And interesting thing in the Luke Cage Netflix series, which was a dope ass series. It was. When he escaped and he grabbed those clothes and he put that bandana on his head, looked at himself in the mirror, and he says, "You look like a damn fool." That was paying homage to how they used to draw him in the 70s. So you know, Marvel got a lot of gems, man. A lot of gems.
Who man said they said New York got way too many superheroes. But if there was superhumans, you know, a lot of them would have came from New York. You know that it's a big city.
Hell yeah. So the brother Luke Cage, you know, it's self-explanatory. By now, he was a B character back in the days. By now, you know him as an A character now. He's like one of those major players now. You know what I mean? And he's bulletproof, strong, you know what I mean? And they did him well on a Netflix series. It was and again, I love seeing black characters where you don't acknowledge their color, you just acknowledge the character of them as a person. You understand? And I appreciated it, man. And I think I'm gonna be Luke Cage at the next Comic-Con.
You gonna go bald?
Yeah, I'm gonna shave my shit off.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna.
Hair, so it's not like you bald. You want the bald cheese dead.
Well, I'm almost 50. My hairline is running away from my eyebrows. You know, I could always.
He said that's Anthony Bowler said that's New York bias act. How is that New York bias? How's that New York? Stan Lee is from New York.
Hell yeah. Come on now, wait a minute. Spider-Man from Queens. Steve Rogers from Brooklyn.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Falcons from Harlem. Rage is from Brooklyn. Man, we on deck, man. New York is where it's at. You know what I mean?
The X-Men is from New York, but they from Westchester.
They're from Westchester, yeah. Now, this character right here is kind of tragic. This is Shadowhawk from Image Comics. When all the major artists went over and formed their own group. Daredevil's from Hell's Kitchen. He's from downtown.
Yes, sir.
Shadowhawk, Paul Johnstone. Now this is pretty tragic. All right. Came out in the 90s. He first appeared in Youngblood #2. That was drawn by Rob Liefeld, one of my favorite artists. Created by Jim Valentino. This is bad. This character is from Harlem, y'all. See, here we go. He's from Harlem.
They gonna get mad. Drew, you shouldn't even have said that. Derek Gaze, that's Hell's Kitchen. Yeah, that's down. That's Manhattan.
This is messed up.
What was his story? I don't know this story, Drew.
He avoided a life of crime, due to part of his encouragement by a man named Richard Woodrow, who was originally assigned as a caseworker to Paul when he was caught stealing.
Okay.
And he eventually married his mother. That guy Woodrow eventually married his mother, becoming his stepfather. Paul grew up. He became a lawyer. He was a DA. His half brother, he went to college and everything else. He moved. He's doing the Wall Street thing, whatever. But he developed a coke and crack addiction. His brother did, right? He got mixed up with some gangsters, and this is fucked up, y'all. He tried to help his brother, and they beat up Paul, and they injected him with a syringe that gave him HIV.
Wow.
Yep. So he's walking around with HIV, and how can I speed this up? He got a hold of some chick. He started working with some chick, and there was developing this suit, the Batman thing. They started developing this suit, and what was that chick's name? Christine, I think her name was, and taught him how to fight. So he's kind of like a Batman / Iron Man / thing. So the suit enhances his abilities, and he was going around New York beating up gangsters, but he was doing it very violently. So this was not Batman at all. I mean, he was breaking backs, breaking necks, punching through people, and he was leaving like a trail of destruction. But he was killing all of these villains in the city. Like, imagine he was killing everybody, like kingpins to imagine the nigga that just
kingpins from the Bronx, yeah. Don't forget.
Imagine the local dude that you knew just sold crack around the hood, and this dude just runs up on him and punches him in the face and rips his jaw off violently. I mean, you can't do it non-violent. He rips the jaw off and kicks him to death, stomps him out. And it's like, well, he ain't selling no crack no more. The suit is bulletproof and everything else. And he was kicking ass so bad, they had to call in Savage Dragon to come to New York and try and,
Was Savage Dragon from New York?
No, Savage Dragon was from, I want to say either Detroit. I think he's from Detroit.
Okay.
I think he was from Detroit. It may have been Detroit or Chicago. It's one of those two cities. But they brought him in, and he couldn't really see Savage Dragon. He had to retreat. But there was another guy running around the city named Hawk Shadow, and he ran up on a interracial couple and beat up the black dude because he said, "Oh, the black dude's assaulting this white woman," and she says, "No, that's my husband," and he killed him, and then he killed her for dating the black dude. So then Shadowhawk was running around trying to catch this racist dude, and he was like, "Nah, we have the same mission. We're stopping crime." And that's when Shadowhawk takes off his helmet and says, "You fucking idiot, I'm black." And you didn't know that until the 10th issue. You didn't know that. That was like the dum dum dum. That was one of those situations. So that's Shadowhawk. Eventually, the HIV turns to AIDS and he dies. But it's comic books, y'all. You find out that Shadowhawk is actually possessed by a hawk spirit or something like that. And somehow he's resurrected. And there's 3 different Shadowhawks. You got to read the comics.
So he's basically the Crow.
Yeah, he's basically like the Crow. That's what you find out. It's crazy. So, it's comics, y'all. It is what it is. But that's Shadowhawk. And I have the first issue of this guy, too.
Way too many supers. They said New York has way too many supers. Like I said, Stan Lee is from New York. So
from New York. Now, this woman needs no introduction. Y'all know who she is. I ain't even got to go there with her. I had to, there's certain people I had to put on this damn list. You know what I mean? Storm and Black Panther was 2 of them.
Aurora Monroe.
Yep. And in the rebooted Marvel Universe, she's actually married to T'Challa.
Yes.
So the kid that they made is on some Omega level he's born with T'Challa's abilities and Storm's powers. It's like crazy. Broken traditions, my brother LeBron. Salute, man. Oh man, we didn't mention Meteor Man.
Meteor Man.
No,
What about
I gotta do
Blank
another list,
Man?
bro.
What about Blank Man?
Blank Man. Oh shit. What about Handyman? Why not? My God, man. Yeah, but man, y'all know Storm, man. Storm. That's a roll, man. Storm, please, man. Storm, man. Come on, man. I still think that well, she actually made it to the MCU, so yeah, forget it, man. But I guess we could deal with Halle Berry as Storm. I guess. Whatever, man. Whatever.
Well, she was a Storm before. Did Disney didn't have them yet in the 2000s, right? When did Disney actually?
No, they didn't have them. I said
okay.
Angela Bassett should have been Storm.
Yes, I love
Angela Bassett, but you know they bring her in there and they kill her. Now she's dead. God damn it! They brought her in as T'Challa's mama. Whatever, man. But shout out to Meteor Man. Ain't nobody better. You can't stop it. Ain't nobody better than Meteor Man. I remember that.
He said Meteor Man was from New York too.
See? For real, bro. War Machine, Rhodey, James Rhodes.
Yo, let me tell you something, Drew, before you start on that real quick. I know General's on. I'm going to say it brief. I would have loved to see what happened if Terrence Howard would have continued. Not that I didn't like Don Cheadle, but I'm just saying, like, I would have liked to
come
see,
on, man. You don't like Don Cheadle as War Machine,
no,
man?
I didn't say that. I just wanted to see how Terrence Howard
Terrence Howard would have been Iron Man. I'm Iron Man. I'm Iron Man, man. Come on, man.
I just wanted to see how that would work. He said, next time, baby, remember you didn't get to put on the suit.
Yeah, man. He said, next time, baby.
Yes. Next time.
How you go from Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle, but you don't want to recast T'Challa? Get the fuck out of here. Those brothers look totally different.
Well, he had an argument with the director or something like that. He won't be the first actor to have a disagreement with like what's going on with Marvel. So I heard that whole story with Terrence Howard. With Marvel.
Yeah, he fumbled the bag, man. He fucked up. Iron Man. Oh man, but salute to War Machine. But y'all don't know, in the comic book, Rhodes was Tony Stark's best friend, and Tony Stark had an alcohol problem. He was alcoholic, so when he stopped being, he said, "I can't do it." My brother has the book. He says, "Yo, I can't do it no more. You be Iron Man." And it's Tony Stark's looking messed up, and he's pointing at the screen, and you're like, "Who's he talking to?" And it turns out to be his friend James Rhodes. They call him Rhodey. And he took up the mantle as Iron Man. And when Tony Stark detoxed himself and became Iron Man, that was when he came back with the silver and red suit in the comic book. And they paid homage to the silver and red suit in Iron Man 2 when he fought Whiplash in the beginning of the film. You remember the suitcase? That was the red and silver suit from the book.
Yep.
So they were dope with that. So he came back as a silver and red Iron Man, but Rhodey kept the yellow and red suit. And then they started upgrading his suit, and he became War Machine. So yeah, that's how they do it, man.
Traditions. He said how Tony Stark and Robert Downey Jr. both alcoholics. That's why he did such a good job. I didn't know about that because I probably was a baby. Like, I didn't know that he was going through all of that, Robert Downey Jr. You know,
hey, bro.
So this was.
Do you remember in Age of Ultron when Tony Stark did he did that computer thing where it showed him talking to his parents when he was younger? Remember that scene in the beginning of the film?
Yes.
The way they made Robert Downey Jr. look That was how he looked in the 80s, bro. That shit blew my mind. That shit blew my mind what they do. Like they did it to Michael Douglas. When they made him young.
Yes.
I was like, oh shit. How they doing this? Oh yeah, you're right. That was Civil War. Thank you. That's why I have the chat here. I'm not perfect. Thank you, Young DZ. That was Civil War. No, wait a minute. That wasn't Age of Ultron when they did that?
It might have been.
No. It was Civil War. He's right.
It was Civil War, yeah.
He's right. It was Civil War. So salute the Rhodey. And last, what y'all know about Blue Marvel? Now let me tell you something about this brother. I saved him for last for a reason. This was one of the characters that was around this whole time, and he went radio silent. You want to know why he went radio silent? He went radio silent due to racism. Now, peep this. Are you familiar with Blue Marvel?
No, I'm not. I know who he is, but I don't know the background story and everything.
Adam Brashear is a former fullback at Cornell University, well known as a veteran of the Korean War, member of the Marine Corps, earned 2 silver medals. All right. He had a friend in the Marine Corps. What was that guy's name? Connor Sims, who became a villain called Anti-Man later on. Bashir later became the project lead of on the scientific project attempt to harness antimatter through the creation of negative reactor, blah, 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 all that shit that we don't understand, but it makes sense in the comics. Accident happens, right? And he gets some powers, right? He has superhuman abilities, and he became known as the Blue Marvel, right? 1962, y'all. Adam received the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President John F. Kennedy, all right? That same day, the president asked him to retire, since it had been discovered by the public that he was an African American. So they awarded him, the president honored him, and then they asked him to step down. All right. As the Blue Marvel, he used to wear a full face helmet, right? And they had fought this villain, super villain, and they beat him. And Blue Marvel was like the strongest one there. So when he knocked this nigga's shit back, his costume was ripped up and his helmet was ripped up, and they was able to see that he's a black man. And the world went crazy, like, wait a minute. We can't have no nigga this strong, because, we still hanging niggas and beating niggas up and civil rights and everything. And this powerful motherfucker, he could clean us up, man. So President Kennedy, they were insinuating that part of the reason why President Kennedy was so black was because he was scared of Blue Marvel. So he respectfully asked him to step down. And, the world wouldn't accept the black superhero. And it says here, although Kennedy personally approved of Bashir's actions, the president reluctantly decided to ask Bashir to step down, and the Blue Marvel conceded. And he just disappeared. He became a college professor. He worked with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Was he a Kree?
No.
Like human. Derek Gaines is saying? He said, I thought Blue Marvel was a Kree. No, that was Captain Marvel, the other Captain Marvel from the Kree, the white guy who died of cancer, but they brought him back. It says here, Bashir. Yes, right. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Bashir defeated the Herald of
and the female too. I think she had Kree too.
Yeah, that's a whole
Carol
nother.
Danvers.
Carol Danvers. Yeah, there's some mix up with that between the movies and the comics, but I like to say comic book accurate. So Blue Marvel.
He said, did y'all mention Miles Morales?
No. That's what I'm saying. We got to do this whole show. We got to do a whole other show. There's mad people that's not on this list, bro. I'm telling you. Bashir defeated the Herald of an Alien Invasion. After the fight, he left the Medal of Freedom on the blue moon of the area where he first met one of the Watchers. Uatu. He met him over there. That guy lives on the moon somewhere. So he's a physics professor at the University of Maryland. Shout out to the DMV. And he actually had to come back. And he can go 1D with Hyperion. He can go 1D with the Hulk. He went 1D with the Sentry Act.
Oh, he did.
This dude is powerful. And I was
Ryan
so
Reynolds.
scared. I was so scared that they were gonna sneak him in to that god awful Marvel's movie because the name Marvel is in his name, and I'm so glad they didn't do that.
It could have did.
I'm glad they didn't do it because that movie flopped. He'd have been in there clowning and cooning and dancing, and no, this is a serious character.
You watched that? Did
No.
you watch?
No. No,
I
they're
didn't,
not
I
getting
didn't
my money.
watch
Fuck
it.
them.
I didn't even watch. Nah, it's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah, well, F it. I'm gonna go right to the end because they brought in Beast. They brought back Beast. I just want to see the end credits. That's all. That's all. I don't care. But this character, this is more of a updated version of him with the metal arms. He usually flies around with that same outfit, but with a cape, a silver cape. But this guy is like Omega level powerful. Hyperion is on some Superman shit.
As soon as you said the Sentry,
Yeah,
and the Sentry has another personality called the Void.
the Void. Yeah, and Blue
If y'all know
Marvel
about
has
the Void.
a rival called the Anti-Man,
Okay.
and he beat him. So this dude is serious. Blue Marvel's nothing to fuck with. I mean, it's gonna be a point in time where he's gonna pop up and he's gonna be so powerful. They're gonna be like, "Yo, where were you when Thanos was beefing?" I mean, he could have fixed this shit by that big war when they fought Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Blue Marvel cleans that whole shit up. You remember when they were losing and Carol Danvers comes in and evens the odds by blowing up the ship?
Mm-hmm.
Blue Marvel would have wrecked everything, bro. That's how strong. Like guys like Blue Marvel, Hyperion, Sentry, all those dudes that could go up in the air and do all of that crazy shit. This guy, he's the equalizer. That's why you really couldn't have everybody in that Avengers Endgame. You really couldn't have they even had to downplay the Hulk in that last scene. Because realistically, if Hulk went World Breaker, it'd have been over. It'd have been over. That's why they downplayed certain shit. Hulk is in there with the fight with the fucked up arm and shit with Banner's mind. If Hulk was regular Savage Hulk, we didn't get the rematch with Thanos, which is what everyone wanted to see. Okay, if he'd have fought him and he'd have went World Breaker, one stomp would have shattered the planet. You understand? So they had to downplay certain things. Blue Marvel, Sentry, Hyperion, these guys are on some next level shit. So when they finally introduce him, actually, he needs a movie on his own because his story is it's deep. He's been around since the 60s. You understand? Todd French, salute, good brother. You tighten my brother up.
And let me tell you, they should do a Planet Hulk movie. That was such a good story. It wasn't
Guess what?
funny. Planet Hulk.
Guess what? They kind of breezed by it. You're going to have to get a backstory.
What, the Ragnarok? The Thor Ragnarok?
Nah, well, Hulk has a son.
Oh, yeah, Scar.
Which was introduced in that god-awful fucking She-Hulk series. Now
Terrible.
people is like, how'd that happen? Well, we know, but now we gotta in a new Hulk movie, they gotta get the backstory on that. How he went and slept with that girl, and man, first of all, how you get pounded by the Hulk? I don't even want to imagine. No, forget it. I don't even want to imagine that. That's called murder, y'all. And you know what I want to do? I want to do a show on Old Man Logan. Did you read that story?
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. The movie wasn't Logan, the movie wasn't bad. The
Yeah.
movie wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all.
But
They
that
changed
old man
a lot
Logan.
of things around. Yeah, they changed a lot of things around, but I don't. If you ever want to do that, I'm down.
Yeah, because that was brutal, bro. When you find out Vanna, Jesus Christ, I ain't even gonna tell y'all. I'm not even gonna tell y'all what he's, bro. When we do the show, if you don't know about old
Only
man
person
Logan,
he could mate with was his cousin.
was his cousin, and that's why those country bumpkin other Hulks running around had messed up teeth because they were half breeds and the bloodline. Oh, it was disgusting when I read it.
Him and She-Hulk is first cousins.
Yeah,
I don't remember what side, if it's his mom or his dad.
He was like, why her? He was like, she's the only one that can take it. Take it. Take what? Oh, take the D. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was crazy. Oh my God. Oh, shit was bad, man. It was all bad. Yeah, Jerome Young, you're right. Blue Marble was around in the 60s. The character first appeared in 2008. But his story's kind of tragic. You understand? And it plays off of the racial tensions in America, in the world back then. And through all of that, with great power comes great responsibility. He knows, he saw what was happening to his people. You know what I'm saying? He could have easily righted the wrongs, but where would that leave everyone else? He can't police everybody off all four corners of the globe.
Yes, Jerome, he was smashing his cousin.
He was smashing his cousin, bro.
He had to. She was the only one that he could really procreate.
Smash. She could Hulk smash. He's the only one that could do it. So yeah, man. Blue Marble was a very important story. And I'm sure, people were like, yeah, man, you black? You see what's happening to us out here? You see what happened to Dr. King and Malcolm X? You sell out? But imagine if he just overthrew the government. You can't watch all your people on all four corners of the United States 100% of the time. You just can't do it, And then what happens when you take over the United States? How the other countries are going to look at you? They're going to be other heroes coming up saying, yo, you can't do this.
Denzel would have been great as Blue Marvel, Anthony Bolt.
Yeah, Denzel would be great as Blue Marvel. Like, can you imagine Blue Marvel like now? As Denzel, but then when they do the flashbacks of how he was in the 60s, they use that CGI and make it look like Denzel in the 80s. That will be so, man, come on. I gotta write a letter to Denzel, bro. Come on, but I don't know if Denzel want to touch Marvel with this woke stuff. Michael Jai White, that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, Michael Jai White, yeah. Yep.
That'd be pretty good. Because I know he has a fade in this picture, but Blue Marvel has like the Reed Richards gray on the sides now.
They could do that.
Idris Elba, that'd be dope. But Idris Elba is also, he's an Asgardian. You know what I'm saying? So he's already spoken for in the MCU. But anyway, man, let them know how they can find you. I know the general's on. We gotta head over there.
Yes, sir. Make sure y'all catch me on the Jab Jamboree for the boxing talk. And, if you want to nerd out, y'all can catch me on Comic Cons. Salute to my brother, the Drew, or Drew Titan. I always have fun doing these comic builds with him and stuff like that. Dag, we gotta definitely revisit because there was a lot of dudes.
A lot.
That y'all brought up. Shout out to everybody in the chat that we did not mention that were black. Shoot, we should have made this a theme in February. We should have done 3 of these in February.
Yeah, man. Should have.
Drew, you might need another day. We might
definitely. We gotta revisit this because there's mad people we left off.
Yeah, we definitely might have to get another day. But salute to the mighty LDC, Full Berserker Clan, and the usual suspects, man. We'll be back here next Friday if in series is happening in boxing. And salute, man.
Word up, man. Salute to y'all, man. Smash the like button, share the video. You know what I mean? We got goals here. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this channel to a stack. by midsummer. You know what I mean? I'm putting in work, y'all. Everybody support everybody. Act when he goes live, get in there, smash that like button. My brother Stay Ready, he be gaming. Smash the like button. Shout out to the LDBC Usual Suspects Full Berserker Clan. General's on. Let's head over there. Let's get our boxing fix in. We will catch y'all. We out the cave.